and welcome to Razz Reviews. This video is part of my Oscar special where I'm going to be reviewing this year's best film nominees. And today I'm going to be reviewing Hidden Figures. Hidden Figures follows the story of three African-American women who were working at NASA during the space race between Russia and the United States. This was happening during segregation, and these women were women and they were black. So it was an awkward time to be working anywhere. I didn't know much about this movie and I've only seen the trailer once, but when I found out that it's actually a true story, I was really excited to see it because I think it's an important story that we should all know about. I personally enjoyed this movie a lot and I found it to be light-hearted and very, very positive. And it also inspired me a lot because what these women achieved is very important and was very beautiful to watch. So it was pretty positive and it gave you a lot of hope when you came out of it. I had a smile on my face the whole time. With that said, I'm going to start talking about the top 3 things that I liked about Hidden Figures. Number 3, the story. I loved watching these women who accept racism as a natural part of their life, and sexism as well. And they just overcome it like it's a normal obstacle, like, oh, I gotta get through traffic today. I gotta get through this sexist, racist guy I'm talking to. Whenever you have movies that deal with delicate subjects, especially things like racism, sexism, oppression, sometimes they tend to get a little too melodramatic. But here, it wasn't like that. It was just a fact and a matter of life to these people, which made it subtle and even more powerful to watch. So you don't watch this film thinking, oh, this is a big, dramatic pity party about, these women who had to overcome racism. It's not. It's very lighthearted and very fun, and I really appreciated that attitude from the characters and from the movie itself. And I felt that was a powerful message that sometimes life is against us and all we have to do is actually try and do something about it and move on rather than sit there and just focus on the negative things and focus on the obstacles in our way. The number 2 thing I liked about this film was the performances. All 3 women give beautiful performances in this film, but for me the definite standout is Taraji P. Henson, who plays Catherine, arguably the main character of the film. I thought that she played the character in such a beautiful way. She made her to seem so likable and so lovable, and you were rooting for her and cheering for her the whole time. She's like this little mathematical nerd who is in over her head, yet she has potential inside her and she uses that potential to overcome all these giant obstacles in her way. And I thought it was very endearing watching her do it. She also plays an independent, strong, smart woman, but she wasn't too pretentious or over the top or in your face. No, she was a calm, collected, rational person who is strong and grounded and is trying to achieve something important. I also love the relationship between her and Kevin Costner's character. Those two had amazing chemistry together, and their relationship in the film is also very heartwarming, and it really grounds the film and gives it most of its heart. The number 1 thing I liked about Hidden Figures was the script. At its core, this movie is about its script and about its dialogue. This is what makes it excel for me as a film. I really like how the script did not emphasize all the problems and the messages that it had. It was very subtle and woven into the story and woven into the characters, and I thought it was very powerful and very effective. I love the dialogue in this movie. It's definitely one of the best things about it, especially when the women are talking to each other and telling each other to overcome things. There were powerful messages, but at the same time, they weren't over the top. I thought the dialogue was fresh, and I thought it was strong, and I thought it was also very entertaining. This movie sometimes is actually very funny. I like that the script had these mirror scenes where, for example, in the beginning of the film, you'd watch a character do something, run somewhere in a certain way, and then later on, a similar scene would happen, similar kind of running, similar kind of action, but a little different to kind of show you the transition and the development that has happened in the story and the characters. This film had a lot of those scenes, and I thought it was really nice and refreshing and very creative. No movie is perfect, and now I'm going to talk about the top 3 things that I didn't like about Hidden Figures. Number 3, the CGI. This movie is about launching a rocket into space, so obviously you expect some CGI with the whole space sequences. But the CGI in this film was a little weak. The CGI wasn't terrible, it's just not on par with the things that we're used to seeing. Of course, you can tell that this film does not have the kind of budget that Interstellar or The Martian has. So when those scenes happened, they kind of stuck out and they took me out of the film just a little bit. The number 2 thing I didn't like was the soundtrack. I didn't really like the score of this film. The score of the film is divided into 2 things. You have the original soundtrack songs that are done by, I believe, Pharrell Williams, and then you have the original scoring of the film. The Pharrell Williams soundtrack was nice, but I didn't like the scoring specifically in scenes where someone is doing something smart. There's this cliche thing when someone who's super intelligent or brainy does something smart, and then you get this beautiful mind music. It's just so annoying and so overdone now that I really hate it. The moment someone grabs a pen or a chalk and starts being smart, you get this music in the background. So those elements of the score really bothered me. I just didn't like them. The number 1 thing I didn't like about this movie was the romance. Now, I'm not saying that the romance in the movie was bad. It was actually pretty good. And the main character has a love interest, and it was actually very nice, and I thought it was lovely. However, I felt it was unnecessary. I feel like movies need to overcome the fact that they think we should have a love story in every single movie, no matter what the overall story is. This movie is about these women going out in the workplace, trying to prove themselves, trying to achieve something bigger than they are despite tremendous obstacles. There is absolutely no need for any of them to fall in love with anybody. It's not important. Yes, in real life it happened. Yes, some of them were married. They had personal lives. It was interesting seeing a little bit of a glimpse of their personal life, but I didn't need a romantic entanglement. I didn't need a love story there. I just wish we focused more on NASA and what was happening there. Every time we were taken out of there to deal with a love story, I felt like I wanted that to be over so I can get back to the cool NASA stuff. So all in all, I thought this was a beautiful, entertaining, and very important film because it tells an important story that we should all know about. And it told it very well. It was very well written, very well performed, and very well directed and shot. And I'm gonna give Hidden Figures an 8.5. So, do you have any thoughts about Hidden Figures? Let me know in the comment section, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, ask me for anything else you'd like me to review for you next. See ya!